Arunachalam, Rajinikanth, is a basic man who is the child of one the rumored individuals from decent family in their provincial town. He is extremely well known for his effortlessness, genuineness and aiding inclination. Vedhavalli, a city young lady and furthermore cousin of Arunachalam, comes to her cousin's, Arunachalam's sister's, wedding. At first she misjudges Arunachalam's companion Arivashagan to be Arunachalam and is stunned to know that how a man who isn't in excess of a joker is regarded by entire town. Arunachalam once slips and falls on her due to spilt oil and he unintentionally kisses her, setting off a sentiment between them, not knowing how they are connected with one another. Vedhavalli at long last comprehends about who is the genuine Arunachalam and his delicate, blameless yet trying nature. The two of them express their sentiments towards one another and their wedding proposition is cheerfully acknowledged by the elderly folks in their family aside from the senior most individual of the family, Arunachalam, Vedhavalli's amazing mother, Senior Vedhavalli. She never enjoys him and consistently shows scorn. She expresses something to Vedhavalli's family which makes them to reevaluate the marriage of Vedhavalli with Arunachalam. The family leaves without illuminating Arunachalam, which shocks him. Arunachalam observes that his more youthful sibling is attempting to jettison his sweetheart and he acts the hero. His sibling won't wed her, expressing that she doesn't match his status and cash. Arunachalam owes to give his legacy to her with the goal that she will become equivalent to him, which infuriates Senior Vedhavalli. She lets everybody know that he has no directly over anything he have with the exception of the Rudraksh which he is wearing in his neck, as he is a vagrant who was found in Arunachaleshwar sanctuary and taken from his mom during her final gasp, who likewise named him Arunachalam. She additionally affronts him and by implication demands him to take off from their home. Arunachalam is broken and wounded by the affront of Senior Vedhavalli and leaves the house. Arunachalam comes to Chennai city and becomes friends with Bida Kathavarayan, Janagaraj, a Bida merchant who gives him a task. He meets Vedhavalli one day and goes to her home just to get offended by Vedhavalli's dad. Arunachalam meets a little kid Nandhani, Ramba, when a criminal grabs her pack loaded with precious stones. Arunachalam gets the sack after continued asking by Nandhani as she ridiculed him beforehand for saving a vacant satchel. Nandhani expresses gratitude toward him and consequently she guarantees work in her father's organization. Following day Arunachalam goes to the workplace and he misses his Rudraksh there. He pursues the rolling Rudraksh, making inconvenience to everybody in the workplace. Lastly his Rudraksh lands in the table of Rangachari, Visu, who was examining about moving of some property having a place with some Vedhachalam to trust alongside his partners. Arunachalam goes into the gathering room and Rangachari is stunned to see the man remaining before him. He inquires what is his name, to which Arunachalam answers. Rangachari lets him know that he is really child of his supervisor Vedhachalam, the successor to his whole property. Arunachalam and Rangachari's partners Kalaiperumal, V.K. Ramasamy, Pratap, Nizalgal Ravi, Kuren, Kitty, and Vishwanath, Raghuvaram, are shocked. Rangachari makes sense of that Arunachalam was lost when he was so youthful and he remembered him with the name referenced by his dad and likeness of his dad Vedhachalam. He told that Vedhachalam taught him to play a videotape when Arunachalam is found. In that tape, an older man Mr. Vedhachalam talks about how he wedded Arunachalam's mom Meenakshi against his dad's desire, how he lost all sense of direction in a journey mishap and was misjudged to be dead, how his mom ended it all messed up by her significant other's death. He got a letter of her which expressed that they have a child named Arunachalam. He tells that he has two options of handing down his inheritance. Either by acknowledging a demand of expenditure 30 crore rupees, 300 million rupees, in 30 days and remove 3000 crore, 30 billion rupees, satisfying the principles, or remove just 30 crore rupees. The explanation of this challenge is to make him get hypersensitive to cash and its solaces, so he would spend shrewdly 30 billion for poor people and destitute people. The rules for this challenge are no commitments to good cause, not to claim any resources toward the month's end, and, most importantly, no other person should realize that he would give 30 billion assuming he finishes the challenge. Arunachalam at first will not respond to the call and says the tape is enough for himself and he doesn't need either 300 million or 30 billion and leaves. Anyway, he hears Vishwanath, Kuren, Pratap and Kalaiperumal looking at killing Rangachari and remove all the 30 billion. Arunachalam at last acknowledges the demand to burn through 30 crore rupees in 30 days, observing the guidelines much to the foursome's shock. Arunachalam challenges them that he would win the test and open them to the world. Nandhani is delegated as his aide to deal with expenses. From day one, Arunachalam begins to carry out various strategies and spends richly, yet the foursome gathering make all impediments so he doesn't win the test. Arunachalam puts the cash in horse race, which is a method for losing cash effectively in minutes. He intentionally wagers on a most fragile pony, yet because of foursome's arrangement, the powerless pony wins, bringing in impassal of cash. Next he purchases guard prize lotteries, which likewise inspires him to win adequate measure of cash. He then creates a film with his companion Arivashagan, trusting it will bomb industrially. Anyway, his arrangement misfires because of the foursome, who get him to bring in more money flow from the selling freedoms. At last he bounces into legislative issues, beginning a party, naming his companion Kattavarayan for impending political decision. He energetically lobbies for himself and luxuriously burns through all the cash so quick. During a gathering, Kattavarayan's discourse drives individuals crazy on him, and Arunachalam proclaims that he is saying sorry them for designating an off-base individual and asks them not to decide in favor of him. Anyway, the foursome gathering make different chosen people of political race to pull out, and Kattavarayan is chosen as MP. Arunachalam is stunned now, as MP post and the party are the two resources according to the test. In any case, he makes Kattavarayan to leave the post and he disintegrates his party, annihilating the two resources. At long last he is going to win, and he spends last leftovers in goodbye party. In the interim, Vedhavalli lashes out on Arunachalam for not aiding her and her family during their monetary emergency, and she questions that he has illicit relationship with Nandhani. She agrees to wedding with her dad's decision. On the last day of handover, during conclusive minutes, Arunachalam's companion comes to him with 20,000 rupees according to plan of foursome, so he can't spend it finally minute. Nandhani shows up in scratch of second to illuminate the foursome arrangement, and Arunachalam spends the cash in most recent 30 seconds by paying the cash to her as compensation, hence winning the test. Nandhani and Arunachalam make sense of Rangachari about the misdeeds of foursome. Rangachari flies off the handle and cautions to protest against them in police, however they take steps to kill them. After series of battles, Arunachalam hands them over to police. Rangachari gives up the 30 billion property to him, however he will not take it and requests that he spend to poor and destitute according to his dad's wish. Arunachalam gets back to town with his embraced father, who shock him with Vedhavalli on the wedding stage sitting tight for him. Vedhavalli comprehended the reason why Arunachalam wouldn't help her and accommodates with him. Senior Vedhavalli understands her misstep and assents for their wedding. Arunachalam and Vedhavalli join at long last.